last night we finally got it. Our Super Bowl. We finally got the premiere that we had been waiting 2 seasons for. Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14. Now, for anybody who knows, season 13, a letdown. The story sucked. The chemistry sucked. The whole season was kind of a write-off. So, before last night's episode even starts, we get a little teaser for the upcoming drama that's going to happen this season, and it looks good. You can tell from that teaser alone, this is going to be a much, much more interesting season than 13 was. So the episode starts with Kenya practicing with her partner for Dancing with the Stars, her partner Brandon. So Kenya and Brandon have really, really good chemistry, and she seems like into him. Like she has a crush on this guy. There's something going on between these two. She says while smiling from ear to ear, he's very handsome and knows how to move his hips. Then Candy shows up to the dance studio, followed by Marlo, and Marlo shows up in the RZA wig. Marlo, for anyone who remembers, who had been like picked on in previous seasons for her edges, tells the women about her hair transplant. The women are talking about Kenya crushing on her dance partner, Brandon, and talk gets into dating and money. Candy says, "We still don't know how you make your money, Marlo." Marlo reminds Candy of Le Archive, not L'Archive, Le Archive, her fashion showroom where you can rent designer clothes, right? She's planning an event to introduce the women and Atlanta to Le Archive and wants to style movies, TVs, celebrities, the famous. Not just anybody who can walk in and rent these clothes. No. You have to be in the industry. She says, when you're watching movies, you're going to see Le Archive. So into the studio walks Sheree. The women are asking Sheree about Tyrone, and she lets them know that, yeah, they're still together, and he's at her home. Not the Atlanta home, the home in Philly where he was paroled. So Kenya asks what the sex was like when he was finally released, and Sheree says, I'll just say it was quick. So now it's the next morning, and we skip to Marlo at home getting her nephews up and ready for school. For anyone who doesn't know, she's been raising her sister's kids for the past 3 years because her sister's in jail. So she's talking about how life used to be all about her and a selfish life and only worrying about herself. And now it's all about, are you ready for school? Did you brush your teeth? Did you take a shower? And how much life has changed. Then we jump over to Drew and Ralph, together in love, but with some problems, right? Now, they're on their way to the gym to meet up with Sonia and her husband, and they're all going to work out together. All right. Now, a mysterious woman shows up to each of the ladies' homes to deliver a message on a computer screen from Marlo, and it's Marlo pretty much inviting everyone to Le Archives event. Next, we bounce over to Sonia's house to meet her family, her parents, her husband, Aaron, who she calls Ross. People call Ross, so we'll call him Ross, okay? And the conversation is pretty much them talking about having a second child. Now, they both want a second kid, but Sonia is worried that it would put a strain on their marriage. Ross replies to her that not having the second kid would do the same thing because he really, really wants that second kid. Her father says that having one kid because you're busy is crazy, but her mother says that having the second kid when you're so busy could drive you crazy. So everyone's kind of split. They don't know what to do, but he really wants a second kid. She also wants a second kid, right? It's just how to make it happen. So now we're back over to Drew and Ralph's house. She's working on her healthy meal prep for her project Drop It with Drew. It's like a weight loss program, meal prep program. And she invites over Sonia and Candy for their opinions. Sonia because she's the Olympic athlete, and Candy because she owns all the restaurants. So Drew explains that she was self-conscious and she had been picked on and comments made about her weight. So while she was under having her hysterectomy, she also had a mommy makeover. Now, she claims to have lost 25 pounds in 3 weeks. And shady ass Bravo put this up on the screen. So Candy looks pretty stunned about the 25 pounds in 3 weeks, kind of in disbelief. And she says to her, "You had a mommy makeover, but you're still thick, honey." Sonia says, "I want to give Drew the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think she's keeping it 100 with us." So the women start talking about the drama going on with Drew and Ralph, okay? Ralph's assistant having disrespected Drew. Ralph's assistant texted him saying that she could come over and give him a massage. So just as they're talking about all that, Ralph walks in and they all immediately stop talking. So Ralph knows right away what they were talking about and says to Drew, "What version are you giving?" So they get into talking about all that, and Candy is really not buying his bullshit. He keeps giving some stupid explanation of the story, and Candy keeps giving face. Candy asks Ralph, "What was your reply?" And he says something about his back hurt, and she replied again, "I told you I should have come over to give you that massage." So now it's the day of the Le Archive event, and Marlo's really, really excited. So the women are arriving, walking around. They're genuinely confused by the event and about what exactly the clothes are for. So Kenya arrives, and Candy warns everybody that Kenya's emotional today because she had just been eliminated from Dancing with the Stars. Kenya and Sonia meet for the first time, and Drew plays nice with Kenya, trying to start fresh and squash last season's beef. And Kenya is open to the idea, and she says that if she can make amends with Marlo, then she can definitely make amends with Drew because it just wasn't that deep. So at this point, Marlo still hasn't shown up to the event, and she's now 90 minutes late. At 9:30 p.m., 2 hours late, Marlo finally showed up. So meanwhile, Candy, Kenya, and Drew are talking, and Ralph's assistant comes up again. Okay. Candy pulls out her phone and says, "Let me show you the assistant. I found her page." So they're looking at her page, and Drew figures out from one of the assistant's posts that Ralph is still in contact with her and is telling her some of Drew's business. Spoiler alert, that's only what it seems like. At the end of this episode, we get a little spoiler for the episode ahead, and it turns out it's not Ralph. There's a mole within Drew's team. So Marlo comes back to confront Kenya after hearing that Kenya was talking mad shit about the event. She was saying like it was boring. It was not at all like the Paris vibe that Marlo had been going for. Where were the models? There was no models walking around. You rented a ballroom, but there's no dinner. What's going on? And that the whole thing was pretty much a waste of money. Kenya says, save your money for a new FedEx label to ship your used clothes to eBay. And then they put up this graphic, eBay. So they're arguing back and forth. And you know what? Marlo is pissed, and she just gets up and walks away from the group. And that was our season premiere.